guys, my name is Samir Shagir. I'm an Ayurvedic practitioner and I'm coming at you from a very cold upstate New York. And today I'll be talking a little bit about the history of Ayurveda, its origins, and the 8 branches within the system of Ayurveda. And during the end of this clip I'll also talk about Vedic astrology or Jyotish and its connection to Ayurveda. So what is Ayurveda and how can we benefit from this vast system of knowledge? And is it of human origin or divine origin? So Ayurveda can be broken down into 2 words or syllables. And the first word is Ayus, which means life, and Veda, which means knowledge, and it's often translated as the science of life. So being the science of life, it encompasses many different aspects of life, ranging from how we view our physiology, our mental constitution, to how we live in harmony with our external environment, and pretty much anything that you can think of or any aspect of life can be fit and categorized within the system of Ayurveda. So it's said to be between 5,000 and 7,000 years old, but it's actually a lot older than that. And a lot of the information that was written or transmitted orally has been lost. But yet it's still a complete system. It's one of the most comprehensive and complete systems of knowledge in the world. And it's influenced Chinese medicine, it's influenced Tibetan medicine, the medicinal system in Japan, and many different systems throughout the world. And a lot of people don't realize this, but Chinese medicine is they've taken a lot of information from the Sanskrit text, because Sanskrit is the oldest language in the world, and the Vedic scriptures are the oldest scriptures given to humans at large for the benefit of humanity. Not just the benefit, but for the evolution of humanity. Because when we have this knowledge, we have the knowledge of how to live a healthy, happy life. We have the knowledge to understand our constitution, because there's 3 different types of, there's 3 different body types in Ayurveda. There's Vata, Pitta, and Kapha. And, everybody's looked at as a different entity. Within the Western system of medicine, there's a certain standardization of how they view people. But the beauty of Ayurveda is that everybody's looked at as unique. And so the constitutions of Vata, Pitta, and Kapha are general. They're generally, given to kind of give you an idea of your constitution. But there's many subcategories and different types of, for instance, Vata constitution, or Pitta, or Kapha. So just because you're a Vata body type doesn't necessarily mean you're the same as another Vata type, which I'll talk about in later clips and later lectures. So Ayurveda can teach us how to understand ourselves in a much deeper way, understand our physical constitution, what type of activities are of benefit to us, what type of foods we should be eating, what type of routine we should be following, things like that. So Ayurveda is a system of knowledge for the benefit of humanity, for specifically our evolutionary process. It gives us a great insight into our character, our personality, and our physiology, and the deeper layers of ourselves. So the 8 branches of Ayurveda, there's many different sciences within the science of Ayurveda. And the first branch is called Kaya Chikitsa, which means general medicine. And this involves dealing with chronic conditions or temporary conditions. There's the science of Shalakya Tantra, which deals with conditions above the clavicles. And if you have any conditions related to the ears, nose, throat, and head. Similar to an ENT in the West, but not quite. Then there's the science of pediatrics, the science of toxicology, which is Agara Tantra, which deals with things like snake bites, scorpion stings, anything toxic that we take in from the external environment. There's a certain means of treating these happenings and conditions. Then there's the science of Rasa Shastra, which deals with things like rejuvenation of body cells and body tissues, prolonging the life of the body, not for the sake of just prolonging the life of the body, and it's for the main purpose of Rasa Shastra is for us to evolve spiritually, because when we have a strong foundation and a strong body, it gives us the time and the capacity to practice certain yogic techniques to evolve spiritually. because we need a strong foundation, a strong body to generate the pranic energy connected to these certain practices and techniques. Because if you're practicing certain pranayama techniques or any meditational technique like dhyan or any type of practice, we're generating energy, and we're generating this energy through the nadis, the spiritual channels of our body, and like I said, we need a strong foundation, a strong body. Then there is the science of pediatrics. I think I said that. There's science of fertility or vajakarana, which deals with things like fertility, like increasing the sexual potency of the body, increasing our fertility capacity and capability, or I should say reproductive capability. And then there's also a science called Graha Chikitsa, which deals with spirits and entities in relation to our health. And this is an interesting branch. It's a very subtle branch, because in Ayurveda everything's looked at in relation to our health, from the most subtle to the most gross or physical. And this subtle science, if it's suspected that a spirit or an entity is affecting a person's health, there's certain means and methods of treating these happenings and conditions through certain rituals and techniques that maybe I'll talk about in later lectures. So is Ayurveda of human origin or divine origin? And a lot of mystics and yogis would say that it's of a divine origin. And it's also related in the text that there's certain beings or divine beings that have given us this information to saints and sages that could capacitate this information, and then they've documented it, and then they gave it to humanity at large. It was given to humanity at large for the benefit of humanity and the upliftment of humanity, and most importantly for the evolutionary process of humanity. So definitely of a divine origin. And there's stories like, written in the text, like for instance there's a story of the divine intelligence of Ayurveda, Dhanvantri, incarnating as a king in Varanasi and teaching a group of sages and saints. And one of the saints was, he was named Sushruta, or Sushrut, and he wrote one of the main texts within the system of Ayurveda. So there's many facets of Ayurveda which I can talk about in later clips. I'll also be talking about the Ayurvedic body types and constitutions in the next clip or next lecture, so please stay tuned. But there's one more thing I wanted to talk about, and that is Vedic astrology or Jyotish. And it's not one of the 8 branches within the system of Ayurveda, but it's a useful tool to help us to understand the different layers of ourselves. And if you really want to understand your constitution in a deeper way, you look at the planetary aspects on your being and at the time of birth to really get a good idea and an overall perspective of what your actual body constitution is relating to the elements and the planetary attributes. So, because like it's said that we are stardust, we're composed of stardust and composed of the finer elements, the finer materials of the planets. And when we're born, there's certain aspects and elements and planetary figurations that affect our physiology, affect our physical appearance, affect many different layers of ourselves, from the physical all the way to the more subtle and refined elements within our makeup and constitution. So I'll talk also about the ascendants. Like everybody has, at the time of birth, if you know your exact time of birth, then you can kind of understand yourself in a deeper way and see the ascendant sign. The ascendant sign is one of the most important aspects you look at when you're looking at a birth chart. And it shows the physical appearance depending on many different aspects. But in general, the ascendant sign and the moon sign are the most important things you look at when you're looking at your physiology and different layers within yourself. So I hope this was informative to you, it was insightful to you, and like I said, I'll be bringing you a lot more information about the philosophical aspects of Ayurveda. I'll be doing a series of Ayurvedic cooking. I'll be doing many different things, so please stay tuned and subscribe. And if you have any comments or questions, please put them down in the comment section below. And if you like this clip, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in a consultation, please check out the link below. And I'll see you next week. Thank you.